Rook endgame now, and handshake.
What is going on this tournament? Another day, another loss for one of these players. Magnus Carlsen cannot stop playing decisive games. This is another unreal one. He's got the white pieces. Alireza Firouzja, the youngster, trotting out the opening moves of the Roy Lopez with black. It's Norway chess, of course. Magnus off the back of a loss yesterday to Wesley. Let's check this one out. The finish is bonkers. Just a beautiful end game. This night developing, we've just seen this stuff. We get to this moment and Magnus has to defend the pawn or castle. He plays this one and we go down a line which is a bit of an old one. Magnus said he wanted to hit Alireza with some old man chess, see what he knows, play something that hasn't been seen much since before Alireza was even born. Both players defend their centres. This pawn push gives the bishop some room. Now the knight chases it, it drops back, bishop e6, and normally the white side of this you don't see taking, but that's exactly what Magnus does. This is the line he wants to test Alireza in, and before you can say, show us your old man chess, Magnus, there he is, still winning in 2065. Hans Niemann's reign about to start any day.
He's just gonna have to watch me win tournament after tournament. He's gonna be too old to even compete. Like, my reign is gonna last so long that he's gonna be at the age of like just like he can't even walk anymore, and I'm still gonna be winning.
This knight drops back after the space game. Now we see bishop d2. X-ray protecting that pawn. Looks kind of weird, but we're going to see the point. This queen activates. Now the knight dropping back. Freeing way for the pawn here. Knight h5 opens a bunch of pieces. Goes for the kingside counterplay. And Magnus builds a beautiful bathtub here. Chess players love bathtubs, by the way. Here's Alireza in his. Kind of looking like a serial killer there. But he loves his tub. We now see the queen activate. Knight g3, doing some defense, knight f4, and with the pawn attacked now on d3, surely you slide the queen out, defend it, but no siree. Magnus pushes on the other side of the board, and he's saying, take me, please, open a line of attack towards this b5 pawn. Knight now drops back, and you win one here, and this is actually better for white. Very sneaky variation. Alireza's alive to it, doesn't touch the pawn. He plays queen f7. Don't ask me why he pogo sticked to g6 and then f7 and didn't just do it in one go. No clue, but we know chess players love to pogo. Now we see Magnus push after a little think. He's got the central space and it pays off in just a moment. But first, Alireza goes all systems go, blasts off, real party pawn push. A takes on b5 played. We see these rooks going into the blender, and now Magnus asks a question. How do you want to recapture in the centre? Best move, knight takes on e5, because you activate a piece which is kind of stuck, kind of passive, not on a great circuit. This is one sample line. Bishop e3, white stands a bit better. It's a game. Let's run back. Pawn takes was played, and this is a mistake which Magnus pounces on. Bishop takes on f4 is the starting move, because after pawn recaptures, hitting the knight, which looks really awkward, Magnus doesn't move it. He took with the bishop to open the eyes of the queen to land this devastating shot. And now he's saying, you take me, I take you. It's what we see. And if black tries to go for a kamikaze, well, here's the big point. By making the knight move, you free up access to the e5 square and hit the queen. This isn't working. Knight g4, and this is still hanging. It's just really good here for white. You can take with check. And if you try queen g7, similar idea, then there's takes with check. Everything collapses. You just can't go for the kamikaze. So Alireza does take. Magnus munches here, hitting the unprotected rook. We note Alireza flicks in the check. Don't take with the rook. Allowing this one to activate with check. Very bad idea. So king takes. Little mini bomb cloud, but there's no time for g4. Using the pin, you have to look after your rook. So Alireza moves over here. Rook f8, or b8, sorry, was very passive, plus this pawn drops. So he activates to the f-file. Now king g1, anticipating the push. Bishop covering the pawn here, but you couldn't cover both. This one drops off the board. Magnus a pawn to the good. He's also laterally hitting this one now, although you have to be a bit careful, but queen takes would work. g4 therefore pushed. If you check, didn't check out this line, but I'm curious. Queen blocks, okay, and it's not so hot. You're giving away some advantage. So Magnus doesn't do that. He plays knight d2. This one holding the rook and the queen. She has to move over here. Does Alireza do it? No, he doesn't. This was the best move, followed by this, but he plays bishop f4. And it looks kind of clever, because after g3, there's now a check. This is the point. This is why Alireza self-pinned. Then king g2, and it's like, okay, great. I activated my bishop with tempo. Now queen g7, I'll hit a pawn. Magnus covers, hits the bishop, and it backs up to b6. And Alireza saying, okay, with this whole little excursion, I've improved to a new diagonal. This one's better, but his judgment is wrong. His time's incredibly low, really not helping him. Look at that. 44 minutes down on Magnus. He only gets 10 seconds back per move at move 40, which they're 8 moves away from. Magnus now pressuring this pawn. h5 covers and h3. All-star kind of break down the position move here. Magnus knows his end games, of course. If you want to know your end games, by the way, check out Lotus Chess, link below. Have you ever seen something that teaches you end games and not just openings? I haven't. It's incredible. Literally used one of these end games the other night to hold a draw. It's so good. Over the board in real life, that was. Have a look at it. We now see queen g7 hits here. Protects the pawn. You could have taken, but you still had problems. Then this pawn was loose. This is how things developed. If you try and take the queens off, not helping you. This knight's better than the bishop in this endgame. c4, c5's coming. This was played. Explosive c4 on the board anyway. Pawn to c6 gives room. Now knight f1. And it starts. One of those beautiful sights in chess. A Magnus Carlsen pony maneuver. Here's footage of him just before the tournament started, visualising just such a situation. Loves his Nimbus 2000 with the horse head on top. Here we go. That pawn's not long for this world. Crying away. Queen c3 goes for the counterplay, but chop on g4, and here comes that noble steed. Bang, 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 and you are toast. On the black side, pawns defended, knights attacked, but here comes the queen, streaming into the game, protecting the knight, also threatening mate in 1. I dare you to go queen e7 and cover. Whoop. You go to Forktown. Black's not in time to get out the forking way. So this was played, allowing the queen to enter. And look at this. It's brutal. You can basically resign here, but you've got to play on. That's a pin, baby, but no good. There's enough checks. Magnus finds this sneaky tactic now, distracting the queen. She takes, he takes. Magnus is 2 pawns up, and he ain't going to let this one slip. Even though he's been taking some punches this tournament, he still knows how to win an end game. Here comes the king, here comes the pawn, and after the check, Magnus resigns because he's being forced to one of these light squares. Doesn't matter where he goes. This is the follow-up. Check. And you force the queens off. Once the king recaptures, one of these pawns is going through. That's all she wrote. Magnus bouncing back. What a tournament he's having. It's just unreal to watch this one. Hope you enjoyed this one as much as I did. Thanks a lot for your support, and have a look at the video on screen if you want to see some more epic chess. Cheers.